What's up, guys? It's KB. Make sure you subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel. Click the bell icon down below so you don't miss a single video from us. And thanks for tuning in to another video from Underground Sports Philadelphia. Now let's get into it.
Philadelphia, baby, you're going to love it. Best sports fans in the world. Actually, the worst, but that's what makes them the best.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome into episode number 733 of Underground Sports Philadelphia, presented by the city of Vineland. It's your boy KB coming at you solo dolo from Underground Studios to get your week started off right. And my internal clock, to be completely transparent with everyone, is really in a wonky place because your boy had to work inventory at the day job today, and it is Sunday as I record this, and it felt like Monday because typically I only work at the day job Mondays and Tuesdays, and I am completely thrown for a loop right now, and I don't like it one bit. We've got a fun show for you. I'm going to talk some Phils. I am going to also discuss just the how do I put this? The absurdities that are happening in Phillies Twitter land right now, because of the start to the season, and it's really the dumbest stuff I've ever seen. So I'm going to talk about it. And if you don't like it, maybe the shoe might fit you. I'm going to preview the upcoming homestand too, because this is a big homestand for the Phils to kind of just like get back in everyone's good graces and get back on the right foot where they belong. We'll go through the run differentials in the Platinum Plunk. The Sixers season is over. It's over. We'll put a nail in that coffin. The Masters happened. We were live for Masters Sunday. Rory takes home the green jacket. We'll talk about that a little bit. We'll have a more in-depth breakdown on Getting the Hole that will be out later this week. And then the Philadelphia Wings home season came to a close, and I'm going to end on that note a little bit here while I'm solo, and I'll also talk about it on the Outside the Box podcast. The Wings season's still alive. But I'll talk about that more in depth on OTB, but just some personal stuff on this episode here. But before I get into everything, make sure you guys are following us on the socials at Underground PHI across the board. We're on every social platform, so be sure to follow us on any social platform. Subscribe to the pod, subscribe to the pod, Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts in audio form. Leave us a 5-star review. It genuinely goes such a long way, guys, for helping us continue to grow not only this show, but our entire company. So when you subscribe, leave those 5-star reviews. It really does help the show. And subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel, youtube.com/@UndergroundSportsPhiladelphia. That is where you get full video episodes of this show twice a week, full video episodes of every show on our network, clips, shorts, live streams, original video content on our YouTube channel. We are at 1,050 subscribers. Some fans decided to unsubscribe to the channel as of late, so let's get the subscribers up. We're 50 away from our next milestone, so let's keep subscribing. youtube.com/@UndergroundSportsPhiladelphia. You can also leave me a voicemail, speakpipe.com/UndergroundSportsPhiladelphia. That is our voicemail line, the AJ Brown voicemail line, because that thing is always open. Leave me a voicemail. It's linked in the description. Get your thoughts off on everything. Speakpipe.com/UndergroundSportsPhiladelphia. And guys, this show is proudly presented by the city of Vineland. And the City of Vineland Municipal Calendar features city-organized, city-sponsored, and city-affiliated events that are of public interest. The calendar, which is accessible at vinelandcity.org, is a good way for residents and visitors to build awareness, remain engaged with city government, and participate in local events. You can also follow the City of Vineland on their social media via Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and YouTube. And through these tools, you can stay connected to the community and get important announcements about programs and services offered by the city, Vineland, New Jersey, where it's always growing season. And big thank you to Security 21 Security Systems and Paul J. Gillespie Incorporated for their continued support of this podcast.
I'm Mayor Anthony Finucci. If you're looking for the right location, think Vineland, New Jersey. Our pro-business approach is supported by financial incentives, workforce development programs, and other resources which can give your business a competitive edge. Whether you're starting a new business or expanding to new markets, our business environment, infrastructure, accessibility, and quality of life make Vineland an ideal location. More information about how we can help your business grow can be found at vinelandcity.org. Vineland, New Jersey, where it's always growing season.
Ladies and gentlemen, it was a rough 6-game stretch for our fightin' Phils. The Phillies lose 4 of 6 on the road here. Where do I even begin? It was not fun. It was not fun. You know, we talked about the Braves series a little bit on Thursday's show. Thursday's game happens, and it goes into that rain delay against the Braves, and then the Phillies end up losing, and then they have to go to St. Louis immediately. They don't get to St. Louis until 4 a.m. They lose on Friday 2-0. They win on Saturday 4-1, and then they lose the series finale on Sunday 7-0 in a Zach Wheeler start, no less. Wheeler didn't have his best stuff today, that's for sure. But it was a tough road trip, okay? Now, there are 2 aspects of this road trip that you can kind of break down. Number 1, this offense has a lot of problems right now. The offense is pretty bad in a lot of spots. Not just, you know, your Bohm, your Marsh, and everything. These guys are struggling in a multitude of ways. JT Realmuto has a 626 OPS. Bryce Harper, 785. He'll come around. We've seen Bryce, slow starts. He'll figure it out. I'm not too concerned about Bryce. Bryson Stott, 696 OPS. Trey Turner, a 716 OPS. Alec Bohm, a 348 OPS. Max Kepler, a 619 OPS. Brandon Marsh, a 474 OPS. Nick Castellanos, an 876 OPS. And Kyle Schwarber, an 1114 OPS. And Mundo Sosa with 1105. Johan Rojas with a 900 in very limited games for both of those guys. And Rafael Marchand, a 542 OPS. This team's just not getting on base. That's the problem. That is the problem here. Your hits leader for this team is a tie between Kyle Schwarber it's Nick Castellanos. It's Nick Castellanos with 16. Kyle Schwarber has 15. Bryce Harper has 13. Bryson Stott and Trey Turner have 12. Everyone else in the everyday lineup is in single digits. The strikeouts are rough. Nick is the only one that does not have double-digit strikeouts right now. The batting averages are abysmal. Not that batting average is like everything, but the batting averages are abysmal. JT hitting 231. Bryce Harper and Bryson Stott are hitting 250. Trey Turner's hitting 261. Alec Bohm is hitting 158. Max Kepler's hitting 200. Brandon Marsh is hitting 118. Nicky C's hitting 308 and Schwarber's hitting 288. That's the big thing. These guys are not getting on base. They're not working counts. They're still doing the dumb swing at the first pitch bullshit that is a telltale sign that your lineup is easy to work through if you're a pitcher. That is the storybook on this Phillies offense right now across the board. You know, obviously Nick and Kyle Schwarber and Bryce are doing fine to really good. You know, Nick and Schwarber in particular are having great starts to the year. Harper's been fine. Bryson Stott has been exactly kind of what you need him to be. But these guys are just swinging at the first pitch. And I get you want to be aggressive. I get you want to try to, you know, get things going. The way you win in Major League Baseball is tiring out pitchers. Getting pitchers to work up their pitch counts, throw you pitches that they don't want to throw, and get you on base. The Phillies do not do that right now. They are not doing that right now. Kyle Schwarber and Bryce are doing well with the walks. Kepler and Marsh have walked 7 times each. Schwarber and Bryce have walked double digits. Nick hasn't really had to walk because he's hitting 308 and getting on base, you know, almost 36% of the time. And slugging 519. But these guys are just not working counts. And it's frustrating to watch because you can almost predict it. It's to a point where the Phillies' plate approach right now is so predictable, and it has been for quite some time, that pitchers just know what to do. And until they change that plate approach and decide to get discipline at the plate, not much is going to change when it comes to the Phillies offense. Will they luck into some home runs and, you know, some extra base hits and everything? Absolutely. But the overall approach from a pitcher is going to be they're going to swing at the first pitch, so I'm just going to throw some junk and get them out. It's very frustrating as a fan, and I'm sure these guys are frustrated too. You know, they're trying to work through things. I don't know, man. It's tough, and it's the other part of this is like, yes, it's still early. It's April. When you guys are listening to this, it's April 14th. It's not even Jackie Robinson Day yet. It's a day before. Like, they've played 14 games. They're 9-5. They're in first place in the NL East. It's crazy to me. You know, They're tied for first place with the Mets. They're only behind them because of divisional record, because the Phillies have played more divisional opponents. And that's the bright side. It's like they're playing this poorly in a lot of instances, and they're still in first place. Now, mind you, a lot of that is because Zach Wheeler has kept them in games. Obviously, today was a struggle for Wheeler, but that's when you need your offense to step up, is when Wheeler's not on, which is far and few between that happens. But when it does, you need the offense to step up. You need the offense to step up anyway for a Zach Wheeler start. Jesus Luzardo has been phenomenal. Christopher Sanchez has done everything you've needed him to do. The offense has let Aaron Nola down big time. And I tweeted this, like, if you're going to try to blame Aaron Nola for his 3 losses, you're watching baseball wrong, and I don't know what to tell you. You know, the guys who have started multiple games, Wheeler, Luzardo, Sanchez, Nola, and Taiwan has started multiple games, so I stand corrected there, but he's also not a strikeout pitcher. But your big 4, your 4 of your 5 guys that you expected to be in the rotation to start the year have double-digit strikeouts through their starts. 3 starts for the big 4 in the rotation right now. Wheeler, Luzardo with 25 strikeouts, Sanchez with 19, Nola with 17. It's just frustrating to know that this team is so much better than what they're putting out on the field. And I feel for guys like Bohm, like Marsh, like Kepler, who are... It's not like they're not trying. And I think a lot of Phillies fans believe that these guys are not trying. You can tell they're frustrated. You can tell that they are trying to figure things out each at bat. And they're not at their best right now. And it would genuinely be like somebody walking up to you at your day job and saying, hey, you're stocking shelves like a bum. Hey, you sit at your desk at your cubicle really weird. Your approach to typing on a keyboard is piss poor. Has it been great for those 3 in particular? No, but I also think that they have had their own struggles that have been like a huge glaring focus, that it has distracted us from the fact that somebody like Trey Turner is very much struggling to start the year. JT Realmuto has not been great to start the year. Defensively, he has been, yes. There's been amazing moments there, but JT at the plate has not been anything to ring home about. And quite frankly, neither has Rafael Marchand. Marchand's played in 4 games. He has 12 official plate appearances. 12 plate appearances, 8 official at-bats. He has 1 hit. He's hitting 125. I was told Rafael Marchand was like the second coming of Jesus Christ himself at the catcher position. And that's not to say Marchand's not going to figure things out. But people online told me that Garrett Stubbs, all he did was be a glorified clubhouse DJ, when the Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs put out a video this weekend of him walking Michael Mercado through an at-bat, and Mercado gets a double play and then a strikeout to record the save for the Iron Pigs. And I'm not saying Garrett Stubbs, Marchand battle here, but a lot of people said like Marchand was like the next savior catcher for this organization. Hasn't really showed me much. Has not really showed me much in the opportunities he's gotten. He's walked 4 times. 3 of those were in 1 game. That's your bench. It's Marchand, Cody Clemens. I don't know what he's done to Topper because he's played in 2 games and he has 1 at bat. Rojas has had some solid plate appearances. He's got 4 hits, 2 ribbies, a stolen base, 2 walks. I'd like to see more Johan, just to kind of see. But also, in that Atlanta series, Johan had a massive blunder that is inexcusable. So it is tough, and I said this during the off season that this Phillies bench has been an issue this entire era. You know, they have not had a reliable guy off the bench that you can trust to come in a game, pinch hit, and flip the game on its head for you. They have not had that. You know, Edmundo Sosa was the bench trade. You know, during the 2022 season, you had homegrown guys in Vierling and Nick Maton, who certainly overperformed to a degree. You had Garrett Stubbs, but, you know, you have not had a competent bench this entire era of Phillies baseball. And by era, I'm saying from the World Series year to now. The bench has been very lackluster. It's very lackluster. You know, you don't have a Josh Bell or, you know, a big thumper off the bench to come in and hit. You don't have somebody like Jock Peterson that I've been clamoring for this team. You don't have an Eddie Rosario or a Jorge Soler or something like that, like we saw with the Braves in 2021 that are, you know, coming off the bench and providing a spark for you. There is none of that. It's a lot of reliance on this everyday lineup to get the job done. And, you know, look, at the end of the day, this lineup is getting older and older and older. And I'm not saying that what we are, you know, looking at right now is a downfall of this Phillies team. No. Again, they're 9-5 and in first place. It is April 14th as you guys are listening to this. What I am saying is that a philosophical approach, you know, and a philosophical change needs to happen sooner rather than later before things really fall apart. You know, this pitching staff is going to keep you in games a lot of the time. But when you get 3 hits against Matthew Liberator, when you get 3 hits in a game against a pitcher that you should beat, when you provide your starting pitcher, who only gives up 2 runs, when you provide him 0 run support, and you get shut out twice in a weekend series, something needs to change. And, you know, I saw Jeff Kerr from CBS said Brandon Marsh has 2 minor league options remaining to his knowledge. You guys know I love Brandon Marsh. I think to get him right, you may have to send him down. If you have the flexibility to send the guy down and try to figure things out, you might have to do it. You know, Weston Wilson is on a rehab assignment right now. He's going to come knocking pretty soon. And, you know, Max Kepler has been struggling. He's hitting 200. While he's got 7 walks, his strikeouts have been bad. His bat contact has not sounded strong. And I'm disappointed there because I'm a big Max Kepler guy. I said that signing was going to be great, and he's shown flashes, but I also don't think Max Kepler's gotten a fair shot because of every spot in the lineup he's hit in. It's been somewhere around Alec Boehm for the most part, or it's coming after Bryce Harper, and pitchers are just, you know, not pitching to Bryce, and it's kind of just saving all the heat for Max Kepler. Max Kepler's not a cleanup hitter. In a perfect lineup, Max Kepler's hitting like 6 or 7. But because Boehm and Marsh are struggling so much, the lineup's getting jumbled around, and you're preventing structure to the lineup. But it was a putrid weekend, a putrid week, quite frankly. The 6-game stretch was not fun. It was it's probably a series that the Phillies will want to forget. And, upcoming is a series against the Giants, a series against the Marlins. You have 3 against the Giants. No, 4. 4 against the Giants upcoming. You have Taijuan Walker on Monday, Luzardo on Tuesday, Aaron Nola on Wednesday, and Christopher Sanchez on Thursday. So we Taijuan Walker against Landon Rupp on Monday, Luzardo versus Verlander, Nola versus Robbie Ray, and Sanchez versus Jordan Hicks. The Phillies should win 3 out of 4 at minimum. And I know the Giants are a good team right now. They're 10-4. Not far off of what the Phillies are. But the offense needs to figure things out. You can't just rely on Schwarber and Castellanos to provide you offense and think things are going to be all honky-dory. That's just not how baseball works. They need to figure things out. And if you have to send Marsh down to bring up Justin Crawford, if you need to, call up Griff McGarry from the bullpen and kind of, for the bullpen, I should say, and kind of say c'est la vie to a Tanner Banks or something, and shake things up. Or honestly, Carlos Hernandez has not been good. Jose Ruiz has not been good. Tanner Banks has been fine, but, he's not, somebody that you're excited to see come out of the bullpen. But Ruiz, Hernandez, Joe Ross, and I know Joe Ross is kind of your long man. They've all struggled. And when you really only have 3 guys in the back of the bullpen right now that you can kind of rely on and trust, and that being Alvarado, Matt Strom, and Orion Kerkering, it's a tough early start to the year for the Phils. But again, so many people treating baseball like it's football. And guys, I have a news flash for you. News flash here. Breaking news from the desk of Kyle Bennett here at Underground Sports Philadelphia. Baseball's not like football. It's quite honestly not even remotely close. You cannot treat baseball like it's football season where you live and die with the game every single week. There's 17 games in football in a regular season. There's 162 in baseball. You are going to drive yourselves insane if you continue to treat baseball like it's football. And quite frankly, if I see you treating baseball like football, you're going to drive me insane. And then I'm going to have to eliminate you from my viewing on social media. It's insane. The Phillies need to figure some things out for sure. And I hope that this week, a 2-4 stretch against the Braves and Cardinals is a wake-up call for not only the players, the coaches, Kevin Long, but Dave Dombrowski, and I hope he sees this. I hope he sees what's going on and is like, okay, what do we got to do to fix some things? Because something has to change. And I know it's early. It's early. I am very much in the belief that it is early. For reference, guys. For reference here. Phillies have played 14 games. Divide that by 162. They have played less than 9% of their season. 0.086. 8.5% of the season. That's a smidge. A smidge. Okay? Gotta breathe, man. And I know I'm a Phillies optimist. If you listen to this show and you know me, I'm a Phillies optimist. I will ride and die with the ship. I will go down with the ship. But I am acknowledging some things need to be fixed. But I'm also acknowledging it's not the end of the world. Okay? The sky is not falling. It's not like this team is 2-12. This team is not 4-10, where it feels insurmountable. And I'm pretty sure the same people online, fact check me if I'm incorrect, but I'm pretty sure the same people online complaining about this start for the Philadelphia Phillies, that has not been ideal, but it's still been fine, are the same ones saying last year they started too hot and fizzled out. There's a lot of parallels going on with the same people who are complaining now and that were complaining about how they started too hot last year and fizzled out as the season progressed. I have more to talk about. But before I do, I want to talk to you guys about our awesome pals over at 47 brand. I'm wearing the 47 brand Phillies hat right now. The hitch style is genuinely my favorite. It's my go-to. I just got a custom hat that I'm going to be bringing to an embroiderer on 4/7 day, which was amazing to take advantage of. So I can get the Vineland High School logo put on it that I can wear for my broadcasts. 47 brand is genuinely the best. We had our master stream Sunday night. Stevie Mack had his 47 brand box, opened it up, had a very nice mystery gift in there. 47 brand is the best. They have a hat right now, guys, and I'm telling you right now, it's going to be in my cart right now. I'm adding it to the cart as we speak. It is the Flyers Vintage Stanley Tabloid 47 Hitch Relaxed Fit hat. This is a new capsule from 47 brand, the tabloid capsule for past Stanley Cup champions. Now, this hat features the Stanley Cup on the side, 1974 Stanley Cup champs, Flyers logo, but then on the inside, this is one of the coolest hats I've ever seen, and I am a big hat freak. Okay, I own hundreds and hundreds of hats. On the inside of this hat, it has the newspaper write-up from 1974 when the Flyers won the Stanley Cup. Genuinely such a cool hat, and 47 brand just continues to blow me away. Check out everything they have on their website, and guess what, guys? They have brand new Philly City Connect hats and apparel. I know a lot of people like to downplay the City Connects. Y'all need to recognize that the City Connects are absolutely fire. They are genuinely good jerseys. They are good uniforms, good color scheme, everything. That's growing up as a fan, is realizing the City Connects are pretty damn good. They've got some new City Connect merchandise on 47 Brand's website as well. Use our link in the description and shop everything with 47 Brand, and you'll get free shipping when you create an account and join the 47 family. Again, use our link in the description and get free shipping from 47 Brand when you use our link to sign up and make an account with our friends at 47 Brand. And we thank 47 Brand for being a proud partner of Underground Sports Philadelphia. All right, so here's the other thing I need to talk about before we touch a little more on the homestand upcoming and the NL East and MLB run differentials. I've been seeing a lot of bullshit going on the timeline, okay? And quite frankly, I think it is so out of pocket and so just entitled and disgusting. The fan policing going on the old Bird app in particular is getting out of hand. Okay? The fan policing by some people on the old Bird app is insane behavior to me. You're an adult. You're an adult, and you're trying to tell people how to act as a fan, how to be a fan, to stop being a fan if you feel a certain way. I've seen far too many people talking like this. So I had to bring it up in my perspective. And quite frankly, you sound like a big dumb dipshit. Okay? Telling people how to process emotion and to process their feelings about a sports team is the dumbest thing ever. We're all human. We all have different feelings. We all process things differently. We all react to things differently. So telling someone how they should process, react, and feel about a game, about a series, about a player struggling, about a player in general, might be the biggest sign of just like being a loser. Like it's lame. And if you're going to act that way, like, just keep those thoughts to yourself, man. Especially as a grown adult. Especially as a grown adult. Like, what are we doing telling people how to feel, react, and how to process emotion about things? If someone wants to feel a certain way about a player, let them feel that way. And on the flip side, if they feel opposite of you, that's okay. That's called being human. If someone wants to react to the Phillies losing 7-0 today in a certain way, and then someone else wants to say, hey, it's still early. Things are going to turn themselves around. The boys will figure it out. That's just them voicing their opinion. You don't need to downplay opinions. You don't need to shun people because of how they feel. It's genuinely one of the craziest things that internet culture has done to fandom. And it's because so many of these people just feel safe behind a keyboard. And they know that they'll never see the people that they're talking to out of pocket and crazy like this in person. So they just decide to yap like that online. Well, guess what? You sound lame. You sound lame. And it's quite just, ugh, it's gross. I don't like using the term ick because I think that is gross. But, like, it just skeeves me out when people try to, like, fan police. And policing fandom is so fucking stupid. And you just need to look yourself in the mirror and be like, what am I doing? Why? Think before you hit send. Okay? Think about before you hit send. Because sometimes when you hit send, you go back and read it, you realize you sounded like a big dumb dipshit. And guess what? It's not fun to sound like a big dumb dipshit. Policing fandom in 2025. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing, man? Can't we all just get along? We're rooting for the same goddamn team. It's unbelievable. Figure it the fuck out. Life's too short to be angry. Life's too short to tell people what to do. Just fucking go about your day and, you know, enjoy the Phillies the way you want to enjoy them. Enjoy the Eagles the way you want to enjoy them. Enjoy the Sixers, the Flyers, the Union, the Water Dogs, the Wings the way you want to enjoy them. But goddamn, like, if it's that serious, like, you need to reevaluate some things. We're talking about sports, something that's supposed to be fun. Good grief. Call me Charlie Brown. It's crazy. Like, I'm laughing because of how stupid this is. It's so dumb. Figure it out, people. Figure it out. Think before you hit send. Don't be a big dumb dipshit. The Giants and Marlins are coming to town for the next homestand. And like I said, the Giants series, pardon me, is going to be a doozy. They're a very good team. But you have Taijuan Walker, who's been very solid to start the year, starting things off in a winnable game. You have Sanchez, you have Luzardo, you have Nola on the mound. You should be able to win 3 out of these 4. Things I want to see in this Giants series. A better offensive approach. Better plate discipline. The Phillies won that game the Sunday against the Dodgers because they were disciplined at the plate. The Phillies won games against the Rockies and the Nationals because they were disciplined at the plate. Plate discipline, plate discipline, plate discipline. That's what I want to see first and foremost. Number 2, I want to see this offense provide run support for Aaron Nola in particular. Okay, Aaron Nola has pitched in 3 games this year. Those 3 games, the Phillies lost 5-1, in which they recorded enough hits to score. They had 8 hits, 1 run, and it came in the 9th inning. The next Aaron Nola start, they lost 3-1 in a game that they had 4 hits as an offense and scored that run in the 1st inning. And then this weekend, they lost 2-0 in a game where they recorded 3 hits. Someone just needs to tell them that, like, Jimbo Jones is starting and not Aaron Nola so that the Phillies can go out and score a shit ton of runs for him. Need to see run support for Knowles. What I also want to continue seeing is Jesus Luzardo continuing to be prolific like he has been to start this season. He has been magnificent to start his Phillies career. He's 2-0 with a 1.50 ERA as a 1.0 WAR. That's what I was looking at. In 3 games, he's 2-0 with a 1.50 ERA and 18 innings pitched. He's only given up 13 hits, 3 earned runs, 1 home run, 5 walks, 25 strikeouts. His FIP is a 1.77, so very on point pretty much with his ERA, which is good. He's averaging 12.5 strikeouts per 9. His strikeout to walk rate is 5. He's been very, very good, and I want to just continue seeing this go. Continue seeing Luzardo be great. What else do I want to see? I want to see Cody Clemens play a little bit. Where has he been? Where's Cody Clemens? Why is Cody Clemens hiding? Okay, I need answers. Why is Cody Clemens hiding this season? Where's he been, Topper? Let me see Cody Clemens. All right. You got 4 against the Giants, Monday through Thursday, and then a weekend series against the Marlins. Very much a good get-right spot for the Phils. They're 9-6. The Mets ended up winning their game. I missed that, so Phillies are a game back in the division. The Marlins are 8-7, just a game back of the Phils. So this is a very much like a get-right spot and a good test against the Giants, who have been very good. They're 11-4, to go out and showcase your skills. Showcase what you can do against teams that are putting together winning baseball. The other thing that I want to see in this series is John Kruk. Where's Kruk? I need to see John Kruk because in the games that John Kruk has been in the booth, Phillies weren't losing like this. Phillies were not losing like this. They lost 2 games with John Kruk in the booth. They lose 4 with Ben Davis in the booth. Observing a little bit of a see, I can't even talk because just doing a wee bit of observing. The Phillies lost 4 games with Ben Davis in the booth. I'm just saying. Let's take a look at the run differentials here. It is brought to you by our awesome merch partners at PHI Apparel Company. Guys, you want to stand out in the crowd, you're going to Citizens Bank Park, you're going to tailgates, hanging out at the bar, hanging out with your friends, you got to stay styling and profiling. Stand out in the crowd with PHI Apparel Company, the official merch partner of Underground Sports Philadelphia. With their unique designs for all, there's no doubt in our minds you will stand out in the crowd. Check out official Underground Sports Philadelphia podcast merchandise, as well as Phillies, Eagles, Flyers, Sixers, Union, and Philly-centric merch at phiapparel.co. And when you go to checkout, use code UNDERGROUND to get 10% off your next merch order. Again, that's phiapparel.co, code UNDERGROUND to get 10% off your next merch order from the official merch partner of Underground Sports Philadelphia, PHI Apparel Company. Let's take a look here at the NL East and MLB run differentials. We will start in the NL East, as the New York Mets are leading the way, 61 runs for, 41 runs against. They have a plus 20 run differential. The Phillies, 9-6. They have scored 60 runs, given up 53 for a plus 7 run differential. The Miami Marlins are 8-7. They've scored 65 runs, given up 71 for a negative 6 run differential. The Washington Nationals are 6-9. They've scored the most runs in the division at 70. They've given up the most at 80 runs against for a negative 10 run differential. And the Atlanta Braves are 4-11. LOL Braves, 49 runs scored, 65 runs against for a negative 16 run differential. Around the rest of the National League, the Cubs have a plus 43 run differential. They've scored the most runs in the National League. The Cincinnati Reds have a plus 11 run differential. The Milwaukee Brewers have a negative 3 run differential. The Cardinals have a plus 4 run differential. And the Pittsburgh Pirates have a negative 28 run differential. The Padres have a plus 30 run differential. The Giants are at plus 23. The Dodgers are even Steven, baby. 74 runs scored, 74 against for a 0 run differential. The Diamondbacks have scored 82, the most in the NL West, have given up 72 and have a plus 10 run differential. And the Colorado Rockies are 3-12. They have scored 40 runs, given up 84 for a negative 44 run differential. I need to take a look here because two teams with 84, them and the Brewers. 84 runs in 15 games. So that's about 5.6 runs per game. Times that they're underpaced by a lot now. D-Rats. We move to the American League. The Blue Jays are at a plus 3. The Yankees are plus 18. The Boston Red Sox are even Steven at 0 runs run differential. The Rays are at a plus 3, and the Orioles are at a minus 6. The Tigers are at a plus 15. The Guardians are at minus 2. The Royals are a minus 8. The Minnesota Twins are minus 13, and the Chicago White Sox are a minus 3. The LA Angels are a minus 3, even though they're 9-6. The Texas Rangers are 9-7. They have a minus 19 run differential. That's crazy. The Seattle Mariners have a negative 4 run differential. The Houston Astros have a plus 2 run differential, and they're 7-8. And the Oakland A's, yes, the Oakland A's are 6-10, and they have a negative 24 run differential. They've given up 89 runs here in 16 games. Let's do a little math there. 5.56 times 162. Yeah, they are under pace as well. That's a bummer. Nobody's on 1K watch right now. But those are your run differentials across Major League Baseball and the National League East, of course, brought to you by PHI Apparel Company. And now we take a look at the Platinum Plunk standings, and that is brought to you by our pals over at Kenwood Beer, the official beer partner of Underground Sports Philadelphia. It's a refreshing light beer, just 4.1% ABV, 120 calories, just 8 grams of carbs. You guys can go to kenwoodbeer.com, use the Kenny Finder to see who's got Kenwood Beer on tap in the Philadelphia, New Jersey, Delaware, Pittsburgh, and Maryland areas. You can also find Kenwood Beer at your local liquor stores in those markets. Again, that's kenwoodbeer.com. Use that Kenny tracker, but you got to be 21 or older to do so. And guys, as always, please drink responsibly. We take a look at the Platinum Plunk standings, guys, and if you're new, the Platinum Plunk is our fun and unique way to track the most obscure stat in baseball, and that is the hit by pitch by a hitter. And we have some new leaders in the clubhouse in the American League and the National League, but we will start with the team leaders, and we have a new dog in the race here as well. A tie at the top between the New York Yankees, who were leading the last time we recorded, and the Minnesota Twins, who have been hit by 10 pitches each as a team. The Cincinnati Reds and Toronto Blue Jays have been hit by 9 pitches each. Hit by 8 pitches are the Baltimore Orioles, the Chicago Cubs, the Kansas City Royals, the Los Angeles Angels, and the Seattle Mariners. The Cleveland Guardians, LA Dodgers, and New York Mets have all been hit by 7 pitches. The Diamondbacks, Rockies, Tigers, Astros, Pirates, Rangers have all been hit by 6, and your league average right now is 6. The Red Sox, Marlins, Brewers, and Cardinals have been hit by 5 pitches. The Nationals, Padres, Giants, Nationals have been hit by 4. Padres, Giants by 3. Braves, Phillies, Rays have been hit by 2. Athletics and White Sox have been hit by 1 at pretty much the halfway point. We'll have the true halfway point on Thursday's show because we'll record on Wednesday. And then leading the way player-wise, Phillies leader, still Kyle Schwarber, been hit by 2. He's the only 2 so far for the Phils this year. But in the National League, Starling Marte now has company. It's Starling Marte and Blake Dunn from the Cincinnati Reds, their left fielder. They've both been hit by 4 pitches. And then in the American League, it is Will Castro, Adolis Garcia, and Jorge Soler have been hit by 3 pitches, leading the American League. So Blake Dunn and Starling Marte leading all Major League Baseball and the National League, of course, with 4. Will Castro, Adolis Garcia, and Jorge Soler tied atop the American League. And like I mentioned, Kyle Schwarber at the top for the Fightin' Phils with 2. And those are your Platinum Plunk standings brought to you by Kenwood Beer. Next bit that I want to talk to you guys about, I had the awesome and esteemed pleasure of attending my high school's Athletic Hall of Fame banquet. If you know me, I am the voice of Vineland High School sports now, which is something I take very seriously. It's quite literally a dream role for me to be in, to be back at my alma mater, a school that I care very much about, and to be able to kind of broadcast and highlight the next generation of Vineland High School athlete. And we had 3 very, very, very elite and talented athletes and alumni get inducted into our Hall of Fame on April 10th. And that was Isaiah Pacheco, Tess Fisher, and our guy, Jamil Demby. It was really cool for me to be there, and thank you to our AD, Sylvester Schifalalio, for the invite and allowing me to be there, because if you guys know my origin story, if you will, I covered all 3 of these athletes one way or another, either in high school and or professionally. Jamil graduated high school with my sister, so I've known Jamil for quite some time, and then we reconnected when he was going through his draft process, and you guys know we did Jamil's very first post-draft interview after he got drafted by the Rams on Underground Sports Philadelphia. And Jamil has been a longtime friend of the show, a longtime supporter of what we do here. And he's truly become like one of my best friends. And to see him bestowed with that honor of going into our Athletic Hall of Fame was truly something special. It's so deserved. Everything that he did in high school, college, in the NFL, and now continues to do in the community here at home and where he lives in Florida as well is second to none. He is truly the best of the best, and I couldn't think of anybody more deserving to go into that Athletic Hall of Fame than Jamil. Isaiah Pacheco, obviously, you guys know Pop. 2 Super Bowls, 3 appearances in 3 years, has been the epitome of a pro with the Kansas City Chiefs, a prolific career at Rutgers, a titan at Vineland High School in the football and baseball spaces, and, extremely well-deserved. And then Tess Fisher. If you don't know Tess, legendary tennis player at Vineland High School. I've known Tess since we were little. She went 159-3 in her high school career playing tennis. 103 shutouts. Tess was different. Okay? She is different. She continues to be different. Genuinely getting to cover Tess, more specifically her junior year of high school, was so much fun when I was working for NJ.com. And those 3 are exactly the success stories you want to see from a small school, in terms of the greater landscape of the country. A small school. It's not California. It's not Florida. It's not Texas. It's not Alabama, New Orleans, the Louisiana area. It's not New York. It's not Philly. It's good old Vineland, New Jersey. And you had 3 prolific athletes like those 3. And we've had many others. But you had those 3 within the last 10 years dominate their spaces at the high school, collegiate, and or professional level. 3 Super Bowl championships among those 3 inductees there too, which is pretty sick. Very proud of all 3 of them. They deserved it. They earned it. And I know this isn't where things stop for them. This is just another, milestone, but extremely proud of the 3 of them. And especially Jamil, as our relationship and friendship has, just continued to blossom over the years. And we continue to be the best of friends. Couldn't be more proud of those 3. So congratulations to Jamil Demby, Isaiah Pacheco, and Tess Fisher on their induction into the Vineland High School Athletic Hall of Fame. Small segment here. It's brought to you by our friends over at FOCO. We love FOCO here at Underground Sports Philadelphia. It is the go-to place to find officially licensed merch for your favorite sports teams, whether it be the NBA, the NFL, the NHL, MLB, college sports, you name it. They have got you covered. Use the link in the description. Shop everything that FOCO has to offer to upgrade your fandom wardrobe, your fan caves, all of that. Use the link in the description and shop with FOCO. And we thank FOCO for being a proud partner of Underground Sports Philadelphia. Ding, dong, ding, dong, ding, dong. The Philadelphia 76ers season is over. Ladies and gentlemen, we've done it. We've made it. It's officially over. Our long-standing national nightmare has come to a close. The 2024-2025 Sixers season is over. Wow. What a horrid season it was. It was so bad. I don't think we've talked Sixers in 2025. There's been no need. There's been no desire. And quite frankly, the product that is the NBA is just not entertaining to me. And I've lost my passion for the NBA. It is a chore to watch if I do ever end up wanting to sit down and watch it, because it's just not fun. I'm thankful that the Sixers season is over. I will be excited when the draft rolls around because the Sixers are locked in to at least having the 5th best odds in this draft, which is nice, which means they keep their pick, and hopefully it doesn't fall and the NBA says screw the Sixers and they lose that pick. But they have the 5th best odds in the lottery, which is nice. So it feels like it's very close to them keeping their pick. I would love for them to get number 1. Go get Cooper Flagg to pair with Tyrese Maxey and Jared McCain. And we'll see what happens with Joel Embiid. But I would really, really love the Sixers to obviously keep their pick, but obviously get that number 1 pick so that they can get Cooper Flagg, because that's really the crown jewel of this draft class is Cooper Flagg. And if they're able to get such a talent, and I just simmed the lottery there, and the Sixers end up with the first pick, bang. They have a 42.1% chance at top 4 and a 10.5% chance at number 1 overall, which is great. I'm just so happy that it's over. I'm so happy for the beat writers. I'm very happy for anyone who has made the 76ers their career path. I'm happy that it's over, because it is exhausting. And this is the type of stuff too, like the Sixers season is only half of what a baseball season is, and people lose their goddamn minds over the Sixers. Take a look at that. And when you're watching baseball, just remember, it's longer. Okay? But the Sixers season, that's me putting the final nails in the coffin, because it is officially over. Cheers to that. Last couple things here. The Masters has happened. Rory McIlroy wins it, completes the career Grand Slam, just the 6th player on the PGA Tour to do so. And only 2 players in the last 50 years have completed that. It's Rory and Tiger. It was wild. I'm not going to say I'm the biggest Rory McIlroy fan. I think he's wildly talented, but I have been critical of Rory. I think Rory has said some things in the past that are very stupid, and I hope that this win kind of puts things in perspective for him. And now that he has accomplished such a massive career feat, Rory has been very outspoken in a lot of ways, but he's also flip-flopped a lot in a lot of ways on the things that he said. But I hope Rory kind of puts his career in perspective and realizes, what he's been able to accomplish, and not painting himself as a villain anymore, because I think he tries to vilify himself to a degree. But it was crazy. It was a crazy run. It was a very roller coaster final day of the Masters. Goes to a playoff. Justin Rose was fantastic as well. Bryson DeChambeau absolutely crumbled. Ludwig Oberg had it and then lost it. Scotty was kind of just there, which was surprising. But yeah, a wild run. And no free shout outs to TickPick. Please come be our official ticketing partner. Their first NFL partnership was with the Eagles. The Eagles win the Super Bowl. Rory invested in TickPick last summer, and now Rory wins the Masters. So TickPick's on a heater. Make Underground Sports Philadelphia next. Let's get something cooking here. Let's work. Kyle Zorn, what up? But yeah, the Masters, it's always a doozy. It's always a fun one. And it's like kind of that sign that like summer's on the way almost. But it's crazy, the Masters is in the books. It's in the books. And we'll be talking a lot more in depth on the Getting the Whole podcast, myself, Steve, and intern Ethan this week. So definitely tune in for more in-depth breakdown there. But Rory was great. And you know what else is great? Our friends at Devereux Golf. I love Devereux. They are truly the coolest golf brand out there. Their Journey to Georgia collection still live. Go check that out. I am going to be rocking Devereux all spring and summer long. I really want to get back out on the course just to kind of just have fun and not play for anything, but to just be out there with the boys hanging out. Plus, we're working on some like mini golf stuff a little bit. I want to get a mini golf content series going. I'll be rocking Devereux because they are truly the coolest golf brand out there. Use our link in the description, and when you go to check out, get 15% off your first order with code WELCOME15. That's code WELCOME15 for 15% off your first order when you use our link in the description to shop with our friends at Devereux Golf. Shout out to Devereux. I will be rocking Devereux when we're at the Truist Championship next month. Very excited for that. Last bit here. The Philadelphia Wings home schedule has come to a close. They still have a 1.6% chance to make the playoffs. It's still possible. Hopefully it happens. I would love to see it. But it's truly always a privilege and an honor to be on the Philadelphia Wings beat and covering the team for this company and for the Outside the Box podcast. A sport that I never knew I'd fall in love with the way that I have has genuinely like changed the trajectory of this company in a lot of ways, and I'm very thankful for it. But as I was sitting in the press box, I was like, wow, like another season has come to a close for me. You know, obviously the Wings still have one more game out in Vancouver next week, but you know, being able to cover Wings games now since 2018, 2019 with a couple gaps there because, you know, the 2020 season, 2019, 2020 was shortened, and then 2020, 2021 did not happen, but you know, it's a lot of perspective, and you reflect. It's crazy that, you know, I won't be back at the Wells Fargo Center until November at the earliest, depending on the schedule next year. But it is always an honor and a pleasure and a privilege to be able to show up every weekend at the Wells Fargo Center when there's a home game and cover the Wings. I love that team, and I know I put the clip out there that rattled some feathers about fandom and journalism and everything. I am a fan of the Philadelphia Wings. I'm a fan of every single guy in that locker room. I want them to succeed. I can also be critical of them like I have been for the last 2 months before they've put some wins together. And, you know, to Lauren Coranda in particular, who is just the genuine delight to work with from the Philadelphia Wings, like, thank you. for all you do and for allowing us to be such a huge part of telling the Philadelphia Wings story season over season. It's such a special thing to me, and I hope it never goes away. You know, I want to be able to cover the Philadelphia Wings forever. They are such a special organization to me, to this company, to my family. And Philadelphia is such a special market for sports that fits so well with the National Lacrosse League that they need to be here forever. Whether it be at the new arena, the Wells Fargo Center stays, whatever it may be, the Wings need to be playing in the NLL forever. And that was my thoughts as I was sitting in the press box on Saturday night as the game wound down and the Wings win, and just seeing the joy on the fans' faces as the guys run around and bang the boards, and the excitement and the energy when the guys were scoring last night, or Saturday night, I should say, since you guys are listening to this on Monday. But it's a special thing, and I know people get frustrated at the losses, at some of the inconsistencies, but at the end of the day, that means you care. And I think you'd be fooling yourself if you don't think every guy in that locker room cares and everyone in that organization cares. And I'm just thankful to be able to be a part of it every single year. And I thank everyone who follows along throughout a season with me, because I know lacrosse isn't everyone's go-to sport, and you deal with me posting updates throughout games and things like that. But it's truly such a pleasure and an honor that I just love doing. I love doing it, and thank you to the Philadelphia Wings organization for just another year of allowing us to do what we do and being part of this year, and hopefully for many, 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 many more years to come. But again, thank you to Lauren Caranda and her entire team. Yeah, it's always emotional for me when the Wings seasons at home come to a close. Just because, you got to wait a while for them to be back. But very cool stuff. Very, very cool season. I got to be at Media Day when only CBS 3 was the only other media outlet. I got to see some really awesome moments. I got to see Joe Resetarits break the single season points record in franchise history. I got to see Joe Resetarits check off so many things as an American-born player. I got to watch Brennan O'Neill. I got to watch Michael Sowers play in the National Lacrosse League. Cool season. Even though it had a lot of ups and downs, still a very cool season. But thank you to Lauren, and thank you to the Wings for another spectacular year from what we're able to do, and just hoping for more next year. That's going to do it for me on this one, because as I record this on Sunday night, and I'm ending this episode, I have to be up in about 5 hours to go back to the day job and work inventory. So if you want me to be able to afford to quit said day job sooner rather than later so that Underground can be my full-time job, follow us on the socials at UndergroundPHI across the board. Subscribe to the pod, Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts in audio form. Leave a 5-star review so that I can make this my full-time job. You can follow me on the socials as well, KBIZZL311 on Twitter, KBizzle11, just with an E, on Instagram and Threads, KB Underground on TikTok. Subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel, youtube.com/@UndergroundSportsPhiladelphia. That is where you get full video episodes of this show twice a week, full video episodes of every show on our network. Clips, shorts, live streams, original video content. It's all on our YouTube channel. Subscribe so I can make this my full-time job. Subscribe. Smash that like button. Leave a comment down below. Click that bell icon so you know whenever new videos go live. And guys, this show is proudly presented by the city of Vineland. And whether you're a new company looking to expand, relocate, or you're a new business startup, selecting the right location is critical to your success. Vineland, New Jersey offers both an affordable business location and an excellent quality of life. The city's economic development department is a one-stop source for moving your project through the development and approval process, and their goal is to make this process as smooth as possible and to provide the fastest turnaround times in the region. If you're considering potential locations for your operation, contact the Vineland Economic Development Team at 856-794-4100. That's 856-794-4100, Vineland, New Jersey, where it's always growing season. And big thank you to Security 21 Security Systems and Paul J. Gillespie Incorporated for their continued support of this podcast. This has been episode number 733 of Underground Sports Philadelphia. I'm your boy KB. Let's get this Phil's offense right. Let's figure it out, boys. Just get us to the plate. Let's figure it out. Let's lock in this home series. I'm your boy KB. I'll be back in your ears and in your visuals with Harrison on Thursday, hopefully talking about the Phils winning this series against the Giants, gearing up for the Marlins, and a whole lot more. But until then, I'm getting the heck up out of here, and I'm signing off. Peace.